Good morning, my dear students. So, today I am going to start with Article 2 of chapter number 3, that is the black aeroplane. And the name of the chapters is Two Stories About Flying. So, in the first article, his first flight, we read about how the bird seagull, a bird which lives around the sea and which has long wings, took his first flight. Now, in this chapter, Black Aeroplane, Frederick Forsyth has very beautifully explained to us his experience once when he was flying his aeroplane, that is Dakota DS-088. That is the name of the aeroplane which he was flying, and he was actually flying from France to England. So he was flying his Dakota DS-088 from France to England, and he met with a storm and black clouds in the way, and how he got out of those black clouds and storm, that is the experience which he has shared with us in this article, that is Black Aeroplane. Now let's start reading. The moon was coming up in the east behind me, and stars were shining in the clear sky above me. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. I was happy to be alone high up above the sleeping countryside. So the author is trying to explain that when he was flying high up in his aeroplane, the moon was in the east behind him, and the stars were shining in the clear sky, and there wasn't even a single cloud in the sky, and he was very happy to be alone high above the sleeping countryside, and the whole countryside was sleeping because it was night time. I was flying my old Dakota aeroplane over France back to England. So that's the name of the aeroplane, that is Dakota. As I've already told you, Dakota DS-088. That's the name of the aeroplane which he was flying, and he was going from France back to England. I was dreaming of my holiday and looking forward to being with my family. So he used to live in England, and these pilots, they really look forward to be with their family, because sometimes for many days they are actually continuously flying from one country to another, so they look forward to meet their family. I looked at my watch, 1:30 in the morning. So it was 1:30 in the morning, and I should call Paris control soon, I thought. As I looked down past the nose of the aeroplane, I saw the lights of a big city in front of me. I switched on the radio and said, Paris control, Dakota DS-088 here. Can you hear me? I am on my way to England. Over. So he was actually informing, he was actually crossing France, Paris. So inform the control room in Paris that my plane is DS-088 Dakota, and I am on my way to England. Over. The voice from the radio answered me immediately. DS-088, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12 degrees west now. DS-088, over. So the radio answered that you have to turn 12 degrees west from where you are to go to England. I checked the map and the compass, switched over to my second and last fuel tank, and turned the Dakota 12 degrees west towards England. So he checked his watch, his map and his compass, and also checked his fuel tank, and he turned, according to the instructions from Paris control, he turned 12 degrees west towards England. I will be in time for breakfast, I thought. A good big English breakfast. Everything was going well. It was an easy flight. So he thought in his mind that he would be in England by breakfast time, and he would have a super lavish English breakfast with his family. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me when I saw the clouds. Now, he had come beyond Paris, and he had traveled 150 kilometers beyond Paris, and then he saw the clouds. Storm clouds. They were huge. They looked like black mountains standing in front of me across the sky. Now, what were these clouds about? They were storm clouds. I knew I could not fly up and over them, and I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south. So he said that I knew that I did not have that much, I could not travel over them, and I did not have that much fuel that I could travel north or south, because in aeroplanes there is very limited um, fuel. So recently a plane crash took place in south, do you know, in the news. So in the same thing happened with that pilot also. There was very little fuel. Deepak Sathe, in the news it was. So very limited fuel, so that is why he decided to land in the rainy season, and that is how the plane crashed. I ought to go back to Paris, I thought, but I wanted to get home. I wanted that breakfast. I will take the risk, I thought, and flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. So that's totally the call of the pilot. When this type of thing occurs, when some unusual thing occurs, it's totally the call of the pilot whether to continue, whether to go back, what to do. It's totally the call of the pilot. So here the author is telling us that he decided to take the risk and move into the storm. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. I looked at the compass. I couldn't believe my eyes. The compass was turning round and round and round. It was dead. So the compass was dead by now. It would not work. The other instruments were suddenly dead too. I tried the radio. So the compass and the radio both were dead. Paris control, can you hear me? There was no answer. The radio was dead too. So the compass was dead and the radio was dead. I had no radio, no compass, and I could not see where I was. I was lost in the storm. Then, in the black clouds quite near me, I saw another aeroplane. Now he saw another aeroplane. It had no lights on its wings, but I could see it flying next to me through the storm. I could see the pilot's face turned towards me. I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved. Follow me, he was saying. Follow me. So he saw a pilot sitting, and he turned his face towards him, and he lifted one hand and waved and said, follow me, he was saying, follow me. He knows that I'm lost, I thought. He's trying to help me. He turned his aeroplane slowly to the north in front of my Dakota so that it would be easier for me to follow him. I was very happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. Now, there was only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. I was starting to feel frightened again, but then he started to go down, and I followed through the storm. So basically, the author was actually telling his experience that I don't know from where that black aeroplane came, and basically the author was just following that black aeroplane. Suddenly I came out of the clouds and saw two long straight lines of light in front of me. It was a runway, an airport. I was safe. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane, but the sky was empty. So that black aeroplane had disappeared. There was nothing there. The black aeroplane was gone. I could not see it anywhere. I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. So he walked away, I landed, and he walked, and he was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower, because old Dakota, it was a bad experience today in old Dakota. He had met with a storm and he was very badly saved from the storm. That is why he's saying that I was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was and who the other pilot was. I wanted to say thank you. So he went to the control room. Can you see the control room? And asked the lady who was sitting there that where I was and who that pilot was, because I wanted to say thank you to that pilot. She looked at me very strangely and then laughed. Another aeroplane? Up there in this storm? No other aeroplanes were flying tonight. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar. So she says that no other aeroplane was flying. It was only your aeroplane which was flying on the radar. So, who helped me to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio and without any more fuel in my tanks? Who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane flying in the storm without lights? So the author is really surprised that what was that aeroplane? Who was flying that black aeroplane who helped me to move out of that storm without light? So basically, as you can see in this chapter, it was the black aeroplane was nothing. It was either the author's own imagination, or maybe it was some supernatural thing which came right away to help the author when he was caught in the storm in the aeroplane. So see, my dear students, if you have faith in God, so God helps you in one way or the other. So this is the experience which the author is sharing with us. So she says there was no aeroplane which was there to help him, but it was his own imagination, or maybe it was some supernatural power sent by God which helped him that day. Without radio, without compass, he was able to land safely on the runway. So I hope you have understood this chapter. It's a very easy article, the black aeroplane. And read this chapter very carefully, watch this video very carefully, and I hope you will be able to understand the chapter very nicely. Thank you and have a nice day.